on predicting employee turnover using confidence. So I am Elvish Antasagpar, and here is Julie May Bermudo and Maria Yvette Redolfin. So, so employee let's this calculate the confidence interval or the proportion of employees likely to leave a company within the next year based on past turnover rates. This session is all about combining statistics with HR decision making, whether you are a data analyst or HR professional. This tutorial will help you to see how confidence intervals can be a game changer when predicting workforce behavior. So next slide. So why does understanding turnover matter? Let's begin by understanding why turnover is such a big deal. High employee turnover isn't just inconvenient; it's expensive and disruptive. It affects recruitment, training costs, and overall company performance. More importantly, it can signal deeper problems like low job satisfaction, poor leadership. That's why it's vital to predict turnover, not just track it. When HR knows of what to expect, they can plan better for staffing, budgeting, and retention. Next slide. So here's a possible scenario. Growing concern at a tech company. So a tech company had a 200 employees last year and 36 of them left. So that's a turnover rate of 36 divided by 200, or at percentage is 18%. So HR at a company is concerned. They want to estimate what the future turnover might be, not just rely on this 18% as a fixed prediction. So their goal is to prepare more effectively. So, but how do we go from one data point to a range of likely outcomes? So next slide, please. So why can't we just use 18%? So why not just use that 18%? Because that's just one sample. If the same company runs another year under slightly different conditions, the turnover might not be exactly 18%. There's always variation in real life data. Confidence help us account for that variation. Instead of guessing a single number, we calculate a range that we're reasonably confident the true value falls within. So for the next slide. So let's define the values. The sample size is n, so 200. So we're working with a 95 confidence level, which gives us a C score of 1.96. With these values, we're ready to build our confidence interval. So the sample proportion we had is 36 divided by 200, 200 which equals 2.18. So, that, so here is Julie to present the rest of the slides.
So let's come up with the formula. Confidence interval is equal to p hat plus or minus the sample size multiplied to the square root of p hat multiplied by 1 minus p hat divided by n. We'll substitute the numbers we got from LJ into the formula. P hat is 0.18 and the sample size is 1.96 and um, the square root of p hat multiplied by 1 minus p hat divided by n is 0.18 multiplied by 0.82 divided by um, divided by the sample size 2 is just 1 minus p hat because we're calculating the probability of not leaving. This formula gives us the margin of error around the 18% sample proportion. So let's calculate the interval. First, we multiply 0.18 to 0.82, where we accumulated 0.1476. We'll now divide it by 200. We will come up with 0.000738. Take the square root of 0.000738, multiply by the z-score, which is 1.96, multiplied by 0.02716, we will come up with 0.0532. Now we apply the margin of error to our sample proportion, which results in a confidence interval of 0.1268 and 0.2332. In percentage terms, that's 12%, zero point 0.7 to 23.3%. So we're 95% confident that the true turnover rate lies somewhere in that range. Um, for our conclusion of the data-driven HR planning, this range is valuable. It tells HR that while 18% is observed rate, it could reasonably be as low as 12.7% or as high as 23.3%. That information helps HR teams to prepare with more accuracy. They can avoid underestimating or overestimating turnover, and they can plan recruitment and retention strategies with greater confidence. Confidence intervals are a core in predictive analytics because they help organizations manage the uncertainty instead of ignoring it. That would be all. Thank you for watching, and thanks for joining us with this walkthrough of confidence intervals in the context of employee turnover. We hope you now feel more confident using statistics to support better decision making in HR or any related field. If you like this tutorial, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. See you in the next one.
So thank you for listening. I am Eljijan Saldivar, and she is Julie May Bermudo, and our other group mate is Maria Yvette Redolfin. So thank you.